Today we're talking about something that I know many of us struggle with, and that is comparison. That feeling that you get when you're scrolling on your phone through social media and suddenly your wardrobe isn't trendy enough and your house isn't aesthetic enough, or maybe even your life just isn't measuring up. So today I want to share with you how minimalism became my unexpected ally against this struggle of comparison in my life, and how it helped me stop measuring my worth by what others do or have. So before I embraced minimalism, I was constantly chasing the next thing that would make me feel like enough. I would see someone's beautifully decorated home and suddenly feel like I needed to go out and redecorate mine. Or I would see someone's designer handbag and feel like mine just wasn't adequate enough. And it was exhausting, to say the least. It never seemed to end, and my needs never seemed to be filled. You see, I worked in a salon for many years, and especially in my early 20s, before I really found myself or my values, I guess what we would call it. And every time a customer would come in, I would suddenly, again, feel either inadequate by what they wore because my clothes weren't as nice, or my coworkers a lot of times would come in and tell me what the latest and greatest item was, whether it be clothing, bag, or a subscription service, and how we needed to have it. And that just constantly created this spiral of never feeling enough, and inevitably the comparison trap. The problem is we are living in a time where comparison is inevitable. Social media platforms are literally designed to showcase others' highlight reels of their life, while advertisers work overtime to make us feel like we are missing something. But here's what I've learned. Comparison steals your joy. It steals our joy. It makes us focus on what we lack rather than what we actually have. It keeps us in a constant state of wanting more, which is the opposite of what contentment from minimalism actually helps us cultivate. And you know what the really insidious part is? Comparison actually makes us judge our worth by external metrics, such as possessions, appearances, achievements, rather than who we truly are. When I started my minimalism journey, something very unexpected happened to me. Something I never knew or would have seen coming. As I cleared the physical clutter in my home, I also began to start clearing the mental clutter as well. And here's how minimalism shifted my perspective. It forced me to define my values, because when you're being intentional about what you bring into your life, you have to get really clear on what matters to you, and not what matters to others or what society tells you or convinces you that matters, but what truly matters to you. Secondly, minimalism helped train me to focus on what I have rather than what I lack. So instead of constantly wanting more, I started appreciating what I already and currently had in my life. And third, it helped me shift my focus from quantity to quality in all areas of my life. Not just possessions, but relationships, experiences, and how I spend my time. So how did I actually break free from this comparison trap? Here are some steps that actually really helped me break free. Number one, I did a social media audit. I unfollowed any account that made me feel comparison or less than, or anything that made me feel sad after being on social media. And then I curated a beautiful feed that actually was filled with inspiration. So when I would get off, I would feel inspired to be a better person and do better, rather than feeling like I am failing at life. I also started setting timers and limiting my scrolling time. That would help reduce that feeling of comparison whenever it crept in. And also another little tip that really helped is anytime I started to feel worse when I saw a post. So for instance, if I was on social media and I started feeling sad or depressed or whatever, and not feeling, oh, like this is really good content and this is really going to inspire me, I would get off, or I would unfollow it. So that was a huge help. The second thing I did is create what I call a values compass. This is just simply a list of my values that I can refer to when making decisions. So if and when I am on social media and I feel tempted to buy something or compare whether or not I need or want, or I would resort to my values compass. And then I ask myself, does this align with my values, or am I just trying to keep up with everyone else? Thirdly, I started a gratitude journal. So every morning when I wake up, I always list or think of 3 things that I am grateful for. This simple little habit has dramatically shifted my focus from what is missing to what is actually present in my life. Number 4, I practice the phrase, good for her, not for me. So when I catch myself comparing, I always try to remember that other person has a totally different story, totally different history. She might be made up of totally different material. In other words, she may have more energy than me, may have less responsibilities than me, she may be less burnout than me, and also in a different season than me, and so on and so forth. So when I catch myself comparing, I acknowledge that someone else's choices may be working for them, but that doesn't mean it's right for me. Breaking free from comparison is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing practice, a lifetime practice. I still struggle with this from time to time, but when I do, I'm able to be gentle with myself and refer back to all those tools that I already talked about. And I'm able to redirect my thoughts and ask myself, what's this feeling trying to tell me? Is there something I genuinely want to change, or is this just a comparison? But I'm already winning because I'm recognizing that I'm falling into the comparison trap. And the difference is I'm able to not only recognize it, but I'm also able to pull myself out with the tools I have. Living with less comparison has been so liberating. I wish every woman can experience it because I am now able to make choices based on what brings me joy and aligns with my values and not what may impress others or keep up with outward appearances. I now find myself genuinely celebrating others' successes instead of being threatened by them, which is huge. And perhaps most importantly, I measure my worth by who I am and how I treat others, not by what I own or how my life looks on the outside. You see, minimalism gave me the tools to break free from comparison by helping me define what's enough for me. And when you know what's enough, comparison loses its power. Now, I would love to hear if you have ever struggled with this or currently struggle with this, or if minimalism has helped you in this area as well. You can just leave it in a comment below. I love reading them. You guys, I work hard on these videos, and if no comments happen, I don't even know if I'm reaching anyone. So please let me know if you found this video helpful. Even if you don't want to comment, if you can just like this video, helps me reach others and makes me feel really excited that I'm not on this journey alone. So until next time, remember that your worth is not measured by what you own, how you look, or what you achieve. You are enough just the way you are.